good morning and happy Friday. Flick the jug on, pull it with your morning coffee and your breakfast, whatever you're having this morning. The sun is shining and we're here for half an hour to bring the good vibes, bring the random chats, and all around just a lazy banter session for your Friday, right?
Yeah, man, just kind of cruising and losing it.
Definitely. How old are we, bro?
Yeah, I'm all right. I was pretty tired yesterday. I was
Yeah.
really actually quite tired. I was worse than I thought I was. I don't know why, but I feel a lot better this morning. I was up a little bit earlier and got a few things done already, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
And then just
Yeah.
enjoying the sunrise. I checked my grass, and so I'm pretty happy with the growth.
I love that. That's the early morning routine, is going out and checking the grass. That's definitely a win. The sunrise was absolutely stunning this morning, and it is going to be another stunning day in the '09 for all of us. So make sure you get out and enjoy the sunshine with the kids, or even just go get some fresh air. Morning, Doc. Having a bit of yarn time with yourself. There's no one else except for the army lady. Is she scary? Is the question. But I hope you're staying well in there, Doc. We'll provide you your banter session every morning while you're in MIT for the next 13 or 14 days. But yeah, pull up with your morning coffee. Banter sessions here.
Yeah,
How
Channel's
is
got
it?
the day off.
Eh?
I just saw Channel's got the day off.
Nice. What a
Yeah.
day to have a day off as well. I just can't get over how good it is, and it's a really reassuring feeling of just being like, summer's on its way. Not gonna lie, yesterday as well, bro, for me was a bit of a drag. But we got there in the end, and waking up this morning, just have a whole new appreciation just for another day of opportunity to be here, right, and on the grind and be surrounded by our people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm definitely feeling very grateful that I didn't fail my 75 yesterday. I was this close. I was very close to just settling on it, but I'm glad I didn't, because I don't think I would be this chippy this morning. I definitely don't think this chippy this morning. I probably would have been super angry. So glad to have pushed through that, and the sunrise and sunshine is just a bonus on top of it. So we're day 45, bro. We're day 45 with 30
days to go.
30 days to go.
A month.
I wanted to have a chat though, because I said on my story last night what I think was getting hard, not on top of the procrastination, was the fact that it was starting to become repetitive. That was the part where I was like, I don't want to do it anymore because it's just repetitive. But I now, with the awareness of it, it's just like some things I've just got to switch up just to keep it fresh. But what would do you find it's been repetitive? And
no, yeah, kind of. The way that I switch it up a little bit is that I change the routine and how I do it. It doesn't mean that I always do it at this time, or I do it this time. Instead of reading a non-fiction book, I read a fiction book.
Yeah.
Instead of stretching, always at the gym or outside, I'd be in the truck and I'd be doing some stuff there. So it's not. I'm not trying to be so routine in it that it's these mundane tasks.
Yeah.
I think the way that I've approached the 75 hard challenge is that it's a way of me being able to just instill a little bit of discipline in achieving small tasks daily to get me towards the back end of it. And how I change that up, there is no right or wrong. I just create just something to help me with it, right? And so that's just one of the little things that I've done that has helped me. But I can fully appreciate why it feels like it's oh my God, it's the same thing. But repetitive things instill good habits. And
that's the part where I was like, actually, the part where I was like, I don't want to do this, but the repetition is the thing that is the motivation and the drive to. Well, it was almost like I don't know. Like, I feel like this was the first time, like every emotion that I've felt through this challenge, like this was the first time where I was just like angry. Like, but you know, it wasn't until I got my shoes on, it wasn't until I got out and I was like, fresh air, under the stars. Oh, this is actually not that bad. And when I was thinking about just not going, I wasn't thinking of those things. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that the repetition has instilled those things that still have made me push through. And you would know because like repetition in the army is
Yeah.
like is the language, isn't it?
Yeah. So like, when you learn how to shoot a rifle, you go to the firing range for about 2 or 3 weeks without even firing around. You simulate everything. You simulate how to load a weapon, how to
Mm,
fire a weapon, how to unload a weapon, how to change magazines, how to change different stances. And
mm,
it's just repetition and repetition and repetition and repetition. So that
mm.
when you do shoot, it's like
Yeah,
instantaneous. You still
yeah.
forget half of it anyway as soon as you fire around because you're so excited to put a full round through the chamber. You're like, this is awesome. And now, and you only ever do this once, is when you have your headphone, you're like, you got earmuffs on, but if you don't put the earmuff fully over your ear and you shoot, you're deaf for the rest of the day. Like, I
Wow.
always laugh in war movies or action movies, and they're firing wildly and they're shooting and they're doing all the rest of it. You'd be deaf for
Yeah, you'd be
days.
can't hear
Yeah,
anything, eh?
you can't hear jack shit. That's why we, when we're in the army, like overseas, we've got these special noise cancelling headphones, so that we can still hear. But as soon as they register this loud crack, it instantly dulls it.
Mm, Aussie.
But there you
No,
go.
yeah,
That's
so
a side tangent.
of shooting guns. No, but that I'm glad we got through because I just definitely think I wouldn't be as chirpy this morning if I hadn't. So 30 days out, I think I can see it. We're nearly there. So everyone that's on that grind, stay on it. We're nearly there.
The light
Um,
is there.
yeah, it is. It is definitely, and it will be rewarding at the end.
How do you
But yeah,
think you'll feel at the end of that?
I don't know. I often think about that because I don't know what the feeling is, but it's like when something you get to the end of something. For example, the Oxfam.
Yeah.
When I trained for for that 2 months straight, we were going for Sunday walks every Sunday. And then we did the Oxfam and then we finished. It took me like months to process that it had finished. So I think it will be an emotional ride of finishing, but I feel like there's going to be so many wins come out of it for all of us, for just like that little thing, like going for a walk to clear my head or, just jumping into the Audible. Like the Audible is, for me, has been epic because I feel like I'm learning. And so that's the refreshing thing for me. Like that's the part where I'm like, I can continue to do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not too sure how I'll feel at the end of it. I feel like we'll be accomplished, but all the emotions that come with things that finish will also be there. So I reckon just being mindful of that and having awareness of how we will be emotionally post it will be key. But yeah, I don't know exactly.
Well, it's interesting because I saw your post last night and I was like super proud of you because I know 45 days ago you potentially would have said, I'll do it in the morning.
Yeah.
And and obviously the feeling of achievement is kind of what we strive for, right? To say, oh man, that's amazing. Gosh, I feel so much better. Because there's nothing worse than going to bed and going, oh, I'm pissed. I could be out there doing it now and getting it done.
Yeah.
And I've been thinking quite a lot about what it would feel like at the end of the 75 hard. And to your point of, we're going to be riding these emotions, I actually feel like we're going to be really content and kind of happy because we've gone through it, because there's no build up. Like, Oxfam, it was just constant build up and then anticipation, race, finish, and then there was that kind of come down. Whereas I feel like we're doing all of that now.
Yes,
and then when we hit the end of it, I feel like we'll be like, oh, cool. And then it won't be 75 hard challenge. It'll be
daily.
a constant thing, a daily thing. And it might not be that you do those 5 tasks daily afterwards. But what it'll be, it'll set you up going, oh man, I want to start writing my journal.
Yeah.
Cool. Just do that one thing for 75 days, and then you create
Yeah.
that habit because all these other habits have already instilled in
Yeah.
you.
Actually, when you
You
put it
know?
like that, that makes so much sense. And like the waves, definitely. Because when you're building up to accomplish something, there is those waves, but not as much. It's just like it's actually just the build up, right? And so yeah, I think there will be that as well, which is cool because it'll just prove to you what you can do and the potential that you
Yeah.
have, right?
100%. You know, like one of the things I've started getting into, and it's not part of 75 Hard, and it was actually really cool because the coaches got me a little notebook yesterday, and I've been writing it in my big book, is that before every training session, I write my goals for that training session.
Nice.
So I have a bit of direction towards it. Like there's obviously all the training that's in there, but I have some set goals now that I want to achieve. And rather, if I achieve them or not achieve them, that's okay. I'm content with that, but I push to achieve those goals. And I think that's where the win has come for me from the 75 Hard Challenge, is that I'm now creating good discipline habits to set myself up for as much success as I can. And it's been really cool. Like I've been doing it for the last week, and it's really interesting. So now I'm like I'm a little bit more focused. I know what I want to do in each session. I know what I want to hit in each session.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's not the weight that I'm lifting. It's more about I want to move so that I'm confident in the movement.
Yeah.
And if I'm doing that, that's a win. So
definitely, that's and just having that direction, like you said, it would give you purpose in your training, which then evolves your training, which then gives you a result of what you want, right? And how it makes you feel. So that totally makes sense. And I like you can apply that to, even just for me, if I was to journal in the morning and go, well, how do I want my day to be? It's like setting those intentions for yourself subconsciously, and the universe does the rest, as well as what you can control does the rest as well. That's so valid, and in this time that we're in as well. Like I also feel like on top of it feeling repetitive, the current climate of where we're at, the things that I usually get to fill my cup, I can't, and it's just a little bit frustrating, which I get because everyone else is in that same waka. Everyone's in that struggle street waka, wanting to see their people, wanting to, still stay disciplined, but also trying to be like, oh, I can't be effed, But it's I'm so inspired by you, by everyone, our community channel, Sarah, everyone that messages me and is just like, you've got it, Doc. Everyone that's just, I know that, and Fee, like if it wasn't for Fee just being like, just go get it done, you'll feel so much better. I honestly, the argument in my head stopped, and I was like, just go. And sometimes you just need that little bit of direction. From someone else.
Support network's huge, right? It's it's what we talked about at the start of all of this.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes people feel like they're on an island, but you're not. You just need to, and it doesn't mean that you go out and speak to 15 different people and they become part of your thing, but you go out and you go, man, you have one or two really close people, and we all have them, that you can then go to and say, hey, this is what's happening, and they'll generally just give you a little nudge and a little push here. You know what I mean? And that's what I've really enjoyed about the 75 Hard Challenge, is that it allows me to grow, but I can actually start to outsource a little bit, which is cool.
Yeah.
And that's big for me.
Yeah, that's huge for you, for someone that has an alpha presence, like to be able to do that, extend the and actually be confident in it, Like you said, it's not that sometimes it feels like we're on an island. And for me, I feel like I've been subconsciously isolating myself without even knowing.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I'm like, oh my God, why am I even doing that? If I need help, I just need to ask, or if I just need a little bit of push, I just need to say, But yeah, but there's definitely been some very good lessons during the 75. So, man, so many wins from it. I'm just stoked that we've been able to keep trucking. Really.
Yeah,
really.
and it kind of has this rub-on effect, right?
Yeah.
you might not know it, but people who are watching you externally are kind of actually now starting to not have an awakening, not having that sort of stuff, but they're going, oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Oh, that's actually really cool. Oh, let's have a crack at that. And they might not do 5 things. They might do 2 things, or they might do 1 thing. Whatever it is, it creates that sort of that awareness that, oh, hey, this is what we want to do. You know, I don't know how many books I've read in the past that talk about from athletes and from successful people who are musicians or whatever. Is hang on, Sol's about to cook off. Hang on. That child needs to be strangled sometimes. That they create really good habits. Valerie Adams is one that I used to see her always at Pickles on Apollo, and she would write her. You can hear him. She could write her goals every day in Pickles on Apollo about what she wanted to achieve for it, and then she writes it in the book.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
Yeah, and look at her now, gold medals.
Yeah, now look at it now.
Yeah, and for someone like that, yeah.
I've just seen Lisa Carrington is now going to go for the next Olympics.
That's incredible. That's a limitless mind, in my opinion. Like I honestly can't wait to be at that point where there is no limits on things like that. Like, I'm getting emotional thinking about it, but it's just because it feels so real, and the potential.
And everyone's levels will be different.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and when you get that sort of power of, like, you know, in your mind that, oh, I want to achieve this. Nothing is without a reach, because what you've actually learned from the 75 hard, that it's not a quick fix. 75 days is like, I don't know, what is it? It's almost close to a fifth of the year.
Yeah.
It's a fifth of the year that you have put towards a goal, which is more than what generally you have in most 8-week challenges and shit like that. So you've now created awareness and discipline, and you've created this drive that now becomes instilled in you, and it's going to be pretty exciting for a lot of people, regardless if you're into fitness or if you're into anything else.
And I think that's it. Like, I think the potential that anyone can do this, like, you don't have to just be in fitness or go to the gym, and I think it's just showing a new appreciation of that you can achieve goals. Like, you can actually achieve the things that you want to achieve just by putting in the work, like, daily. You know, I feel like the shift on when you set goals at the start of the year and you've got your New Year's resolution and stuff, like, I feel like doing this has made me look at it from a different lens. Like, setting goals at the start of the year and being like, I want this, da 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 da, but then actually setting those goals at the start of the 75 and then actually sticking by them has had a different effect. And yeah, like I said, it just has a different point of view on things, and again makes you feel like you're limitless to what you can actually achieve. Anyways, that was deep.
But I reckon it's kind of the conversation that's probably needed to have at this juncture within the 75 hard spectrum that we're in, because it's because it's that point where you see those memes, and I don't know if those that will follow motivational posts and stuff like that, and they've got the 2 guys digging towards the pot of gold, but one guy stops 90% short and turns around, heads back because he's just over it, and then the other person continues on and hits it. But we're at that junction now where we're kind of like, we're almost there. You know what? Screw it. I've done 50 days.
Yeah.
I feel good about it. That's good enough.
Yeah.
And I think now we're kind of in that zone where it's like, well, no, that's not good enough because I've set a task and I want to achieve it. And I think that's where New Year's resolutions really fall short a lot, is because we're in a holiday mode. We generally make a lot of these decisions while we're maybe under the influence of alcoholic beverages, and we think, yeah, this is a great idea, we're going to do this, and we wake up in the morning, we're like, oh man, did I really want to do that? Whereas, you know, when we came up with these decisions about the 75 hard, we actually sat down and had a proper look at how we're going to achieve this. And, you know, and because it was in the middle of the year, we're already in a workflow pattern that's going to make it work. Whereas, you know, New Year's Eve, we're in holiday mode. So generally, I think there was data out, it's like 80 or 90% of New Year's resolutions fall short after 3 days.
Yeah. And like you said, just going back to how you said we're at injunction now, like day 45. And I think this was the part where I need to have a chat about this because I don't know where I'm at. I don't know. Like you said, I'm so close yet so far. Done all this work. I can't believe I was contemplating just being like, all good. I was okay with settling on day 44. I was all good with waking up tomorrow morning and being like, I'll start again. But realizing that was just a test to the last 44 days, right? And still got it done, and we're here now. So day 45, we are 30 days out, and I just am.
It's gonna be dope.
Yeah, I am. I'm stoked that we even having this combo because it is super important. It is what I always say in a workout as well. Is like there's no point if you've got a 10 rounder and you're at the 7, 8, 9, and those are everything you do. Those are the 3 hardest rounds. But the first 7, they don't mean shit. So for me, it was like the days before that don't mean anything. It's now until the next 30 that will be what counts. And it is like you just said with that image of that man digging for gold and being, you could see how close he was, but he just was like, I'm done.
Gave up.
You know? And then and it's so valid. It's so valid. So grateful for it. Grateful that we have an amazing community that are all on board of it, that support us doing it. But yeah, it's a good day to have a good day, and
man,
we're very, very, very lucky. Definitely having a party celebration when we hit the 75. Definitely. And I really can't wait. Yeah.
And what are you going to do this weekend?
This weekend, we've got the boys, so we'll probably, if the sun is shining, I'm sure there'll be a lot of outdoor walks, adventures. Nothing in particular, really. It's birthday week still for Fee, going into my birthday week. So maybe little celebrations. Yeah. Oh, definitely have to crank the Barbie this weekend.
Yeah, also, yeah.
Definitely be doing that. But what about you, bro? What are you up to this weekend? And what is everyone else up to this weekend? Let us know.
So we've got the classes tonight, so I've got something a little bit special planned. So it's actually interesting. So last night I managed to pull off a partner workout in the outdoor classes, which actually worked really well. So it took a little bit of
partner workout 2 meters apart still?
Yeah. 2 meters apart, and still able to work it. So, which is really cool. And it gave me a chance to try something, and it kind of worked. So that was cool. So tonight we've got, I'm going to try something a little bit different again. And it'll be out in the sun, so there'll be a bit of fun with that. And then tomorrow morning, bright early, going to get up and go for a paddleboard, watch the sunrise, come up just off Rossay Bay. And I'm going to go about 500 meters, maybe even a little bit more, go quite deep. Yeah. And just sit down and watch that sun come up. So
that's going to be magical.
And I don't know if I'm going to take my phone. I am worried about if I take my phone, because I haven't been on a paddleboard for a while. I might get a bit shaky. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a wee while, and I'm looking forward to getting out there watching the sunrise. And then there's a few things on during the day. We'll do some yard work and probably see some people. And then on Sunday, I actually might head to Kennedy Park Stairs. Yeah, I might head to Kennedy Park Stairs. Yeah, and just I'm actually thinking about paddleboarding from Campbell's. If it's still good weather, I'll paddleboard around Campbell's, beach it, do like 6 sets, paddleboard back.
What a weekend. That's a good lineup, especially if this weather is how it is, man. You can't really go wrong, right? I'm just like, again, it's just that reminder of like the good weather just makes you feel good. And that actually sounds like a really cool plan, going paddleboarding over to the stairs, doing the stairs, and then paddleboarding back. Your legs might be a little bit cooked, so you might need to go back on your knees.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, well, maybe I'll get my old Waka Armour paddle and I'll just use that on my knees. And I'll just go, yeah. I actually pulled it out the other week. My very first blade I ever bought. Yeah, wow. That was back in 2006. And I've still got it. It's a Xylo blade. It's a 9.5 11-inch blade. It's amazing. It's still amazing as well. So
has anyone anyone that's on at the moment, have you guys done Waka Armour or dragon boating or any sorts of that type of stuff. I honestly think if you could hire one, that would be an awesome like community day, is just getting out on the water and just going for a paddle. Like, I just think that there's something rewarding, and it's something different. It's not something that everyone else does. So I feel like that has to be on the agenda for something to do.
Well, I know a lot of clubs do what they call business house regattas, and what that is that they go to businesses or whatever, and they say, if you pay this, we will supply all the canoes or supply a steerer, we'll teach you how to paddle, and we'll do this. And that's a great source of fundraising for them, because waka ama is an amateur sport and there's not a lot of funding in it. So they do that. What's really cool, and if we are able to get, and the rules around using waka ama has changed a little bit since I did the sport, because back then it was probably a little bit loose in terms of water safety.
Right.
So you still had to have life jackets in the canoe and stuff like that. But I think now you actually have to wear them all the time, from what I've been seeing on social media recently, but I'd have to double check. And there's rules around how far they can go offshore and stuff like that. But if we were able to, going off Tarangi, Toto, and then doing the hill and then coming back, it's pretty epic. If you get an opportunity, if you go from Mission Bay across, it's a little bit easier as opposed to going from Takapuna, and then you have to go around the lighthouse onto the Browns Island side.
It's a good sport. Yep, could imagine you doing that. So got put as the caller.
You'd have been
funny
to teach as well.
Definitely funny. I was gonna say, before we wrap up, I want to know what everyone's grateful for this morning, and actually grateful for from the week. You go first, bro.
Ooh, I don't really know, to be honest. There's probably been I'm probably grateful lots of very small wins that we've had. Not just as a community, but professionally, personally, business wise. There's been lots of little hiccups, but there's also been lots of really little small wins, which has accumulated to some good things. So and to be able to give back a little bit to the community has been a really cool thing. So we've got the last day of the pyramid challenge, $100 voucher countdown up for grabs, and there's been some really interesting interpretations of the food thing, and a lot of people have been asking, how do we pick it? It's just random. We have as many entries as you have, and then basically they go into a hat. We shuffle them around. Sometimes it goes to people with really great pyramids. Sometimes it will might go to a person that just has a really funny interpretation of it. Yeah, that's how it's done.
So that's been drawn when?
They'll be drawn tomorrow.
Oh, nice, and it's $100 countdown voucher. I bet you are grateful for that, Mr. Green. I'm grateful that I'm grateful. I just so had it. I'm grateful that I'm grateful that we're healthy. Like, first and foremost, like, I'm grateful that we're healthy. I'm grateful that our community hasn't been, or not that I know of, but I know, like, when you look at what you see on your phones and stuff, there's a divide because of what's going on. And I'm just grateful that you and I also can hold space for everyone to have a valid voice. We don't have to agree, but we can still love each other as well. So I think that's for me, because that's a fear of mine, is just knowing if if we have divided, that's the part where it hits home. But just know that you have a valid voice, whether we agree or disagree. You're still loved. And just be a good person, really, and just be kind. If you're on the other end of that and you're trying to get your opinion across or whatever, just understand that, all good, but I also have an opinion, and we can still stand here and still love each other for it, But that's what I'm grateful for today. I'm going to wrap us up with quote of the day, which I feel like I just opened the book and I was like, this is very valid to our conversation earlier. And it goes like this. 46. A happy person is not a happy person in a certain set of circumstances, but rather a person with a certain set of attitudes. Very valid for this today and today's banter session. I'm sending all my love to everyone for the weekend. I hope you all enjoy the sunshine. I hope you enjoy your time with your family. I hope you enjoy some time for yourself. Stay safe. Be kind. Be kind to yourself as well. We're day 45, 30 days here. We will see you Monday morning. Banter session. That's me. That's me for us. Later.